John Sullins, the leading tackler from a year ago. Antonio London, coming off that surgery on his jaw in the 1991 season, has kicked off. This is Temple fielding the ball at their 4-yard line, and they are brought down at the 17. Anthony Richardson is the Temple quarterback. He rolls out to the right and has some room. He'll run it himself. Ball on the 25-yard line. 3rd down and 2. It's Richardson, same play as the first play, and it looks like he gets the first down. An All-American preseason pick at punter for Temple. He's also their backup quarterback, but this kid can boot the ball. And he lets one fly as David Palmer, the freshman from Jackson Olin High School here in Birmingham, fields it at his 7. He breaks it up the middle and runs into his own man, where he's dropped it about the 24. 2nd down and 12. Danny Woodson with Saran Stacy behind him. Will get brought down for a loss at his 15-yard line. That's James Harris, the big 6'8" linebacker. Let's see what he can do now. Woodson straight back. And he's going for the goal. The scramble, and it looks like he's going to go for it all. Could Woodson break it? It looks like he will. The senior from Mobile is going to go all the way, and the Tide is up 6-0.
Well, there you have it. Woodson scoring on a broken play. That's what they like about Woodson, his ability to run, and he turns it into a touchdown.
Richardson again seems to be audibilizing at the line. And it's again, this is the fullback, Swanson, brought down for no gain. Steve Webb on the tackle.
Like there's a fumble, Doug, and Alabama's recovered it.
Kevin Turner and Saran Stacy. This is Stacy going through another fairly big hole. Gains 5. Martin Houston and Kevin Turner, the 2 fullbacks, are in the ball game. And Martin Houston goes over the right side for a first down. Good blocking, and again over the right side where John Stevenson is. Good work from the Alabama offensive line. Woodson hands off to Saran Stacy, goes around the left side and hammers his way down to the 6-yard line. 2nd down and 7 for a touchdown. 5 minutes to play. The Tide already up 7-0. Warren in motion. The pitch goes to Stacy, who has a huge hole. He cuts it back for his first touchdown of the year. And Stacy looked a lot like Saran of 1989.
He sure did.
All right, kicking off for the Tide. Steve Cole. He handles the kickoff chores while Matt Wethington does the field goal and extra point duties. And busting it up the middle for Temple is Raphael Mack. In the backfield for Temple, along with quarterback Anthony Richardson. Richardson being harassed, rolling out to the right. He throws a desperation pass, which is picked off by Alabama. Antonio Langham.
You know, the credit of that interception really goes to that defensive front, because they had excellent pursuit on that quarterback.
Was when he intercepted that ball against Tennessee at the goal line and ran it back 33 yards, which helped the Tide preserve that 6-3 win over the Volunteers. Woodson on the rollout, finds a wide open Donnie Finkley, who breaks the tackle and goes all the way up to the 38-yard line. Temple has 9 men on the line. Tank gets it away, trying to pooch it inside the 10, and he might get lucky. He does. Alabama downs it at the 2-yard line. There's another handoff, and Temple found a hole up to the 12. For the folks around the state who never saw Dan play in high school, what a treat. Played all his home games right here at Legion Field on this turf. Line drive. Not a nice punt at all. We brag about the guy, and he lets us down. David Palmer goes left, comes back right, and look at the kid maneuver. Finkley and Lee are the wideouts. This is Saran Stacy cutting back. Little juke step, falls forward for a gain of 4. Alabama takes over on the 46. Woodson, there's the fake and the reverse to David Palmer, who finds a seam, cuts back, brought down at the 34-yard line, and Alabama first down. Saran Stacy lines up behind Kevin Turner, and Saran takes the pitch, goes wide, shows some speed, Nice hit. Alabama on the 28. Woodson back to pass. Has a man open. It's complete. Donnie Finkley grabs it for a first down, depending on the mark. Martin Houston in at fullback, replacing Kevin Turner. Saran Stacy, the tailback. Houston, the lead blocker. Saran cuts back. And he gets close to the first down, not quite, maybe a yard short, stays in bounds. All right, Danny Woodson comes to the line. Kevin Turner back in along with Martin Houston. This is their short yardage offense, and Martin Houston, as he always does, just rams forward for another first down. Martin Houston and Saran Stacy are in the backfield. This is Saran. Powers his way down to the 7, maybe the 6-yard line. Second down and 6. They can still get a first down without scoring. Woodson to Saran Stacy, who gets bottled up and squirts outside for the touchdown. Wow. Saran just found an opening, and he is quick. Matt Wethington trying to make it 3 out of 3 as we have a blowout on our hands. At least it seems that way early on. It's 21-0, and Temple has shown us an inability. That's no good. Well, I jumped the gun, and Matt Wethington misses. 3 down linemen for the Tide. Anthony Richardson, 2nd and 10, back to pass. And he finds a wide open receiver, Rob Graff. First down, Temple up to the 48. Trent Thompson back to punt again for Temple. The last time a line shot off his foot, this time another line drive, which bounces over David Palmer's head and out of bounds at the 1-yard line. 3rd down and 8. We're under 7 minutes to play in the second quarter. Alabama ahead 20-0. Martin Houston off the left side gets wrapped up, and Alabama will punt.
That's a critical mistake there, because here you got
foul against the defense.
Late hit. You got 4th and 5, forcing Alabama to punt out of their own end zone.
Danny Woodson has gone all the way. Jay Barker is supposed to get some playing time as Saran Stacy just hammers his way close to a first down. Right now, just a murmur in the crowd. They're waiting for Danny Woodson or Saran Stacy or somebody to do something exciting. Woodson turns to Martin Houston, who gets brought down for a loss. That was 3rd and inches, and they did not get it. Tony Schmitz, Jamie Mikowski deep for Temple. Tank didn't hit that real solid. A fair catch by Jamie Mikowski at the Temple 34-yard line. In fact, they have 3 people on the right side. Richardson looks left to Conrad Swanson, and he has some open room. Is he going to be fast enough? No, he gets knocked out of bounds at the 20, at the 19-yard line by Mark McMillan. But there's the fullback, Swanson, who we told you earlier is a very good pass receiver. 2nd down and 10. No gain on that last play by McNair. Here's Richardson rolling right. And he is brought down by Eric Curry, but it looks like he might have grabbed the face mask. Last year's shutouts happen quite often for this Tide defense. Will it continue? Swanson carries it to the 5. I don't think I'd say that to Trey Johnson's face, but 314 pounds, you got to carry the baggage somewhere. Conrad Swanson carries it up to the 3. Robert Stewart clogging things up. Mike Knuth is the kicker for Temple. He'll try to get him on the board. He wears number 10, 5'11", 180-pound junior from South Dakota. And the junior from Dakota makes it 20-3. And Saran again cuts to the outside, gets close to the first down. He'll be brought down about a yard short. Gene Stallings was quoted as saying, Santos Stevens on the tackle, Coach Stallings was quoted as saying, Saran Stacy is the most talented running back I've ever coached. That's the end of the first half with Alabama leading it 20-3. Gene Stallings in much better shape than he was a year ago in his opener against Southern Mississippi. Let's go down to Scott Hunter. In just a moment, we'll hear from Scott and Jerry Burnt, but first half, not bad for the Tide.
Good first half. I know the Alabama offensive line, Steve, was one of the big question marks, but they came through and did a good job.
Turner Stacy in the backfield. Danny back to pass. Rolls out and finds a wide open tight end. Derek Warren. Woodson, the pitch back to Saran Stacy. We've seen that play a few times, and he breaks a tackle and gets knocked out of bounds. Tank Williamson, you have to like a guy named Tank. His third punt of the day. The last one was brought down inside the 5, and this time he sends Temple deep. And it's brought out to the 7, Leslie Shepard. Under 12 minutes to play here in the third quarter. 20-3 Alabama. McNair has had a miserable day.
No, that can really hurt you too as an offensive line. The size is great until it starts to take away from your speed, and then it really can hurt you, especially with a fast team like Alabama.
McNair on the draw. Finds an opening on the outside. Is that Antonio Langham again?
Yeah, sure was.
Good open field tackle.
Here comes Mr. Thompson, Trent Thompson. Hasn't shown us much. A lot of height so far. A lot of line drives. This one a short punt, relatively short. David Palmer at his own 49, and he goes the wrong way. Hey, David, you got to go forward, not backwards. Fielded it at the 49. Danny Woodson tries to be sensational. Twirls around and throws to the man of the hour, David Palmer. Nice move to the outside. First down, David Palmer.
Doesn't even involve offensive lineman releasing.
Tony Schmitz made the tackle there. Saran Stacy then comes back to the left side. Gain of about 5. 2nd and 5. Ball on the 32-yard line. Warren in motion. Flip back to number 27, Saran Stacy, who battles his way toward the first down marker. I think they're going to mark it just about a half a yard short. He's backed up by Roosevelt Patterson, a sophomore. Matt Hammond, a sophomore left tackle. Danny Woodson falls forward for what looks like an Alabama first down. 8 minutes to play now in the third quarter. 1st and 10, halfback pass, Saran Stacy. Touchdown, Alabama. Prince Wimbley.
Unbelievable reception there.
Trent Thompson, the punter. There's a line shot off the side of his foot. David Palmer fields at the 24. He just wants to touch the football, and he gets brought down right away. Maybe you should have let that one go, huh? Well, Holland, the injured player for Temple, is being wheeled off the sidelines, and Alabama wheels with a reverse. David Palmer takes the handoff from Saran Stacy, goes all the way up to the 45-yard line, and the freshman is disappointed he didn't go farther. Alabama on the 44. Martin Houston blocking for Saran Stacy. Runs on the right side. I was wondering if they would ever go back to the right side. 2nd down and 5. Right on the 50-yard line. Martin Houston fumbles and Temple recovers on the 50-yard line. The Owls have good field position for the first time in the second half. Looked like Kevin Carey might have caused that fumble, number 49, the middle linebacker, and that's a procedure penalty.
This is really a crucial drive, I think, for Temple, in that if Alabama stops them here, I think it's going to really demoralize their offense.
2nd down and 15. So far, Temple has been bottled up here at midfield, and that goes nowhere. A gain of just a few. Who battled the punter, Trent Thompson, for the number 1 job. Richardson 1 out. Named him the starter about a week ago, and he's about to go down, and he does.
Great penetration there by Alabama's defensive line. That penetration by Copeland is just really what's devastated their offensive line.
Richardson was raw meat in the middle of that sandwich, and there's another shank, if you will. It doesn't look pretty, but it's effective. It pins Alabama down inside the 10-yard line. 3:21 to play here in the third quarter, and Danny Woodson, calm as can be, as if he's done this for a long time. Playing, don't make me look bad, Danny, as he gets sacked on the 3-yard line.
Looks like Harris is locked up with Martin Houston. That's what started it all.
Danny Woodson back to pass. 3rd and 16. Looks down the middle, and it's intercepted. Temple brings it back to the 24-yard line. Flag on the play. We'll see what the flag is all about. That's Keita Crispina with the interception.
Flipping on the return. Be a first down.
1:46 to play. Third quarter. Anthony Richards back to pass. Richardson. And it's intercepted by Alabama. George Teague brings it back, and he has some room to the 20. High stepping it to the 25-yard line. Alabama's defense answers Temple with a big interception. He's been watching Saran Stacy. He started high stepping it over near the goal line, or over near the sideline. This is Derek Lassick. Oh, and he gets hit hard, but spins out of it. Gains about 5 yards. There's a late hit. If the flag doesn't go down, it should. Martin Houston, the fullback. Martin pounds up the middle for a first down. Again, it depends on the mark, but it looks like he might have a first down. Scott, wipe that smile off your face. He's having too much fun. Yeah, who is Debbie anyway? Danny Woodson completes a pass to Prince Wembley over the middle.
It's been a good matchup, those seniors against Alabama's young line.
Derek Lassick with a big hole up the middle, close to a first down. Saw a shot at Jay Barker there on the sidelines as Derek walked off. Danny Woodson goes across for the first down. He just kind of falls forward. Dabo Swinney in from Pelham, Alabama, number 88. He's checked in for the first time. Chris Anderson, there's a good shot at Jay Barker. Fumble, Alabama. Looks like the Tide pounces on it. Chris Anderson, only about 5'9", and that ball landed right up near his neck, up in his shoulder pads. Danny now with a very good fake there. Things are getting a bit sloppy. And a completed pass and a touchdown. Hey, it's sloppy, but it works. Rick Brown on the receiving end of a touchdown. Hey, there those guys are. They're on every telecast Alabama ever has. These guys with the Tide boxes and the toilet paper. Fielded at the 14. Temple finds a hole up the middle and a fumble. Pounced on immediately by Leslie Shepard. Sam Jenkins had a lane. He's been doing that the entire game. Coughed it up, but Shepard, Johnny on the spot.
Alabama substituting pretty heavily now on that defensive line.
That's McNair moving forward for about 5 yards. Temple to the ground. Todd McNair gets close to a first down. It appears that Temple is starting to wave the white flag as they're running the ball up the middle, down 34-3. There's McNair breaking a tackle, another tackle, running over Antonio Langham, who won't let him go. 3rd and 11. Richardson with the draw. McNair. Bruce McNair gains about 9. John Sullins finally wrestles him down. Big play, that 80-yarder. Beautiful play. The offensive line has performed well. And McNair is performing much better now against some of the younger players for Alabama. Antonio Langham brings him down. We should say, though, Scott did not do that when the front line guys were in there for the Tide. Flags down everywhere. And McNair is brought down.
John Sullins coming over to make the tackle.
He's on the offense. It'll be down right. We'll back it up 5 first and replay the down.
George Teague covering a lot of ground, breaking on the ball. I know Bill Oliver loves to see that.
Here's McNair battling his way to the 9-yard line. Richardson back to pass. 3rd down. Intercepted by John Sullins.
Great play there by Sullins.
Danny Davis is checked in for the Tide. No, make that Chad Key. No, make that Danny Davis. And all sorts of flags are down.
Offensive holding there, moves it back to the 5-yard line.
1st down and 12. Irving spikes in the game. First time we've seen Irving today. 4.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Chris Anderson takes it in the end zone. Finds a big, gaping hole, breaks free. Hey, he's fast. He might, and he will go all the way for a touchdown. Chris Anderson sees daylight. Anderson is in the end zone.
Great play there, great blocking up front.
That's a record that's lasted a while, 1945. Showing those pearls, those white pearls Scott is so famous for. There's a fumble picked up by Alabama. Charles Gardner. Tell you what kind of kid he really is. Danny Davis pitches right. Irving spikes. Finds a hole. Down to the 7. Close to a first down. I'm tenacious. I cannot overpower people, so I have to stay after them until the whistle blows. 2nd down and 20. Under 3 minutes to play. Terrence Lynch in the ball game now for Alabama. First time we've seen Terrence today. Terrence Lynch, one of the fastest fullbacks you'll see. He can really move it. That's Sherman Williams. Now he's a freshman. Here's the punter, Trent Thompson, getting his shot at quarterback with 1:15 to go. Pitches back. Wonder if an ice bucket will come today. Probably not. Too early to celebrate a game like this. Here's a completed pass. Thompson to Ramondo Davidson. Temple moves on to Pittsburgh to play at Pitt. Under 30 seconds to play. Thompson will scramble. It's hit hard.
Really are. Alabama had a great recruiting class last year. A lot of those guys getting in and getting a lot of playing time today.
It's in the books. Alabama, a 41-3 winner over Temple in the 1991 season opener. Things start off better for Gene Stallings in 1991 compared to 1990 when he lost to Southern Miss 27-24.